Welcome to the tutorial for the fiscal year 2017 SnapEd Time Log template. This tutorial will cover the new features of the time log as well as how to fill out the log's general features. Let's get started. The newest time log will be emailed to you by your supervisor, so contact them if you haven't received one. Before filling anything out, it should be noted that you must use the same template each month instead of using a new one every month like you may have done in the past. The time log is an Excel spreadsheet which will require Excel 10 or higher for optimum use. However, it will still work with older versions. Upon opening the spreadsheet, you may get a message asking if you want to enable macros. Always click yes. The template has tabs that correspond to the months of the federal fiscal year, October to September. Each month will be pre-filled with date and day, and each period will be shaded in the same color. Note that some pay periods extend through the end of one month to the beginning of another. Now that you know the basic layout of the time log, let's go over how to properly fill it out. Click on the current month. If this month is October, you may notice hours already included in the total for the period, over here on the right, and in the period total ending October 9th. These are any hours worked from September 26th through 30th and are included to ensure that the period ending October 9th has the correct total hours. The top sections will be pre-filled with your employment information. This will carry over from month to month, and the only time it will need to be edited is when a status change occurs. A status change can refer to a change in FTE, a change in your percentage worked with SnapEd, a change to being split between multiple counties, or a change to being split between SnapEd and another grant or account. Any status change would need to be documented in their appropriate places on the form. If you have a change in class, such as changing from a student worker to classified staff, or a change in status, such as from part-time to full-time, you would denote it over in the section on the top left. Select your updated class or status from the drop-down list in the appropriate section and select the effective date on the right in the drop-down list. Any change to standard hours will be done by accounting, so you will not need to do anything with this part of the template. If you have a change in percentage, such as changing from 100% in one county to being 50% in two counties, you would denote it in the updated column in the status box over here on the right. You can see your current percentage on the left. This column will be locked, and you will not need to do anything with it. Type your new percentages in the updated column, and then select your county from the drop-down list on the right. If you are changing to be part SnapEd and part of another grant, such as FNEP, you would denote your percentage with the other grant in the bottom cell of the updated column next to Other Not SnapEd, and your new percentage with SnapEd and county in one of the cells above it. Make note that your percentage must always equal 100%. If it doesn't, the updated percentage total will be red, indicating you have made an error somewhere. After making one of these changes, select the date this change went into effect on the top right of the status change box. You will then notice the cell to the left turn red. This signals you to enter your FTE. After confirming that your employment information is correct, you can move on to entering your time for the month. Remember, this time log is only for SnapEd time, so if you work with another grant or account, only list your SnapEd time. There is, however, one exception to this, which we will go over later in this tutorial. If you are unsure whether your hours are admin or direct, refer to these columns on the right. You'll notice that your time will sum for daily totals and period totals. If you enter more than 8 hours a day or have more than 80 hours in 1 week, you may see the numbers turn red. This is to signal a deviation from normal hours to bring to your attention if it's not correct. If you're an hourly employee, you may notice a box pop up on the right when entering in more than 80 hours in 1 week. This signals the accrual of comp time. Click here to be taken to the tutorial for using this feature of the form. Your time for the entire pay period will be automatically calculated in the period total column. Keep in mind that for some periods this number will be totaled over the end of one month and the beginning of another, meaning it's very important to use the same template each month. Any time off should be denoted in the two time off columns. When you type in the time taken off in the time off column, it will make the type column turn red, indicating that it needs to be filled in. The type column is a drop-down list that contains letters for different absences from work, such as vacation or sick time. If you click on the type column, a legend for what the letters mean will pop up. Choose the letter that represents the type of absence you took. If you only fill out the type column, you will notice that the time off column will also turn red, signaling you need to fill it out. The only exception to this is unpaid time off. When entering unpaid time off, you will not put any hours in the time off columns. Instead, write the number of hours taken off in the explanation and notes column. If you took partial unpaid time, enter the partial time as normal, select U in one of the time off columns, and then denote the hours in the explanation and notes column, such as 4 hours admin and 4 hours unpaid. If you take paid leave and the type you took is not in the drop-down list, choose option O for Other and enter a note in the explanation and notes column describing the type of leave you took. Holiday time off will be pre-populated based on your FTE. These can be overridden if you work in an extension office that recognizes different holidays. If you are split funded between SNAP-Ed and another grant, be sure to enter full time off taken, even if it's on a day you don't normally work for SNAP-Ed. For instance, if you work for FNEP Mondays and Wednesdays and take 8 hours of vacation on a Monday, you would still enter the 8 hours in this time log as SNAP-Ed is charged for any paid time off. The template will automatically calculate the split-funded portion that will be charged, so don't worry about calculating it yourself. While you do not need to detail all daily activities in the explanation and notes column, it is required to use when your type of admin or direct is labeled as Provide Explanation, when you take unpaid time off, and when you select O for Other as time off. These boxes on the right will show a summary of all times entered by type. They are simply here for reference and you will not need to do anything with them. Once you have completed entering your timesheet should look something like this. Save this document in a place that you will remember it. You will need to fill out the current month in the same Excel file each month in order to keep the pay period totals up to date. If your unit has already specified a place for you to save your time, please follow your unit's instructions and save your time log there. Once completed and saved, please upload this form per your region's protocol. This concludes the FY17 SNAP-Ed time log tutorial. If you have any questions, contact your RC or the accounting team.